Good afternoon, class. In my informative speech, I will discuss the career of criminal psychology. I will go into details about how that lines up with the values of God, and also I will go into details of the different degree choices that come with the career of criminal psychology. I will also go into what type of settings a criminal psychologist works in and the type of individuals a criminal psychologist works with. In this speech, I will define the career of criminal psychology by informing you how this job falls in line with the values of God. You can use this job of criminal psychology to promote values of helping individuals who have committed crimes to give them that what hasn't already been given to them, and that is the love of God. John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him will have everlasting life." Galatians 6:2 says, "Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ." Basically, as in the career of criminal psychology, you could basically help individuals who have committed crimes to make better choices, hopefully, in the future. The minds of ones that do heinous things. This is the mind of inside of someone who commits a crime of hate, passion, and anger. These are the minds of someone who is only in your nightmares. The reason I chose the career of criminal psychology is because I worked in a correctional facility a little over a year, and I am currently majoring in the field of criminal psychology because I've dealt with these types of individuals not only in my career in EMS, but also in my career as a correctional officer the year that I worked in that facility. The one thing that I gained about the whole criminal psychology is the fact that a lot of these individuals that are in correctional facilities or mental hospitals suffer from mental illnesses, and that's why they usually have committed the crimes that they do. Either they were abused or they had some type of neglect or some type of mental issue that has caused them to act the way they do. In this speech, I will inform you of how the individuals in the field of criminal psychology works with, what a criminal psychology does for as far as what the type of degrees they have to pursue, and what types of settings a criminal psychologist will work in. First, the main topic of my speech will be what types of people do criminal psychologists work with. A large part of what a criminal psychologist does is studying why people commit crimes. They may also access criminals in order to evaluate and risk of recidivism, which recidivism means their chance of reoffending, and or make educated guesses about the actions that criminal has taken before committing the crime and after they committed the crime. Like, why did they do this? And that's coming from careerpsychology.com. Sometimes a criminal psychologist will interview people who are in jail to learn the motivations for committing a past crime. In turn, this allows the behavioral analyst, which is what I will be when I graduate, to understand the mindset of someone who is breaking the law here and now. Next, we're going to go into details about the type of schooling that you will need to pursue or obtain in order to be a criminal psychologist. To become a criminal psychologist, you must first earn a bachelor's degree, which is what I'm working on, in psychology or a related field, followed by a master's degree in psychology. This completes the minimum requirements necessary to gain the title of a psychologist and begin to work with patients on a clinical basis or offer clinical opinions. However, a master's degree is typically not enough for a first-rate employee to get when they first graduate from college with a master's degree. Usually, if you have to work for the FBI, they want you to be at least a doctor, have the doctorate degree in order to pursue working like an agency like the FBI. I plan to work on my master's degree here at Liberty to continue on with not only from the master's degree program. I plan on getting my doctorate, but it's not going to be criminal psychology. It's going to be forensic psychology. Finally, I'm going to tell you what types of environments that a criminal psychologist works in. They work in an array of different environments, from correctional facilities to mental health hospitals to even the hospital where you go to the ER. Criminal psychologists also work on crime scenes with the FBI, with local law enforcement, to basically help the police puzzle scenes together to get what they are looking for as far as to solve the crime. A criminal psychologist spends basically all their day or on looking at crime scene or crime scene photos, or working with law enforcement officers, advising lawyers, and testifying in court. So I will be going to court when I become a criminal psychologist, based on things that I see or do in the environment of working with law enforcement. People in this field usually work in office or court settings. A criminal psychologist might spend a considerable amount of time interviewing people, researching an offender's life history, or providing expert testimony in a courtroom. In some cases, criminal psychologists may work closely with law enforcement or federal agents to help solve crimes, often by developing profiles of murderers, rapists, and other violent criminals. If you ever seen the show Criminal Minds, Dr. Spencer, he is a criminal psychologist. He basically helps the team using his mind to basically figure out what is going on with each individual person that commits a serial crime or rape or terrorist attack or any type of that nature. To wrap up this, I will say a criminal psychologist is a tough field to work in because of the individuals that you deal with, just like a correctional officer, police officer, even working as an EMT right now is what I do full time. It's tough dealing with psychiatric patients or elderly, demented patients. It's a tough job because you're dealing with people who are not exactly have the best past. In this speech, I informed you of what individuals criminal psychologists work with, what a criminal psychologist does for education, and the types of settings that a criminal psychologist will work in. The mind of someone is unique, especially since everyone thinks and acts differently. Someone could choose to be evil or bad. It's up to the criminal psychologist to get in the middle of the situation and piece all the puzzles together. I hope you guys enjoyed my speech and it was informational about criminal psychology, and I look forward to providing you with more speeches and feedback in the future. Thank you and have a wonderful day.